CNN is already owned by a right-wing Trump supporter and has compromised itself accordingly. The firing started right away in that new regime. That's why Jim Acosta is no longer there, and others are no longer there. And everyone who remains has become much more careful in anything they might even think of saying about Donald Trump. And now CNN eagerly pays a Trump supporter to lie on CNN every day and night for Donald Trump. CNN did this during the first Trump presidential campaign and presidency. CNN regularly paid Trump supporters to lie about Trump on CNN, but the CNN regime then realized that was a mistake. And they stopped doing it. They stopped paying for lies. But then CNN got a new head. The head of CNN for the last 3 years, hired by the Trump-supporting owner and operator of CNN, is an Englishman who thinks paying Scott Jennings to lie about Donald Trump is money very well spent. Scott Jennings, who used to be an aide to Senator Mitch McConnell, was not always a rabid, lying Trump supporter. When he first started appearing on television, he was capable of criticizing some of the more extreme Trump positions, but Scott Jennings figured out where the money is and how he could get his own podcast and decided to become the J.D. Vance of CNN. And here is the single goofiest thing ever said by anyone in charge of CNN in that network's history. The lost in America Englishman who heads CNN said, quote, "Scott's like D'Artagnan. He's got his sword out, and he's got about 4 Democrats against him, but he spiked them all off. That's much more like it, I think. He's a worthy opponent, as it were, for the Democrats in the room. And it makes not just good television, but also for in some ways, a slightly deeper testing of the ideas all the way around the table. Good television." Here's how bad that television is that they make over there. The show that Scott Jennings frequents the most is on opposite this program. And that show, on a good night, gets half of the audience of this show. This program usually has an audience triple the size of the terrible, terrible television that Scott Jennings is delivering on the absurdly degraded version of CNN presided over by the man who thinks lying for Donald Trump on TV is an honorable pursuit and should be paid for by CNN. Scott's like D'Artagnan, he says.
Flashback.
It just fucking sucks. It fucking sucks to be out here. Who's asking for a Labor Day rundown in my ear? Who's got a hammer? Where is it? Any fucking thing can come into my ear at any moment. You have insanity in my ear. Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Anybody can get into my fucking ear at any time. Stop the hammering! Fucking out of control shit. Someone in that control room is out of control. Fucking guests' faces coming up in the middle of a fucking script. Jesus Christ. Stop the hammering! Stop the hammering! Where's the hammer? Is it on the, go up on the other floor. Somebody go up there and stop the hammering.